Hi everyone. Today I'm taking a look at the Bucket List Journal by Ben Nemtin. This was actually a request from one of you, and so I decided to take a look at it. I ordered this off of Amazon. It was $35. The official title on Amazon is The Bucket List Journal by Ben Nemtin, a simple tool to achieve a rich and fulfilling life, daily planner to increase positivity, productivity, mindfulness, wellness, and happiness, built for personal and professional goals. That is a lot of productivity guru word salad right there. So I'm very curious to see what this is like. It is a little less narrow. It's a little wider than some of the bullet journal style journals that I've seen in the past. Looks like it's about 6¼ inch by 8¼ inch measuring the cover. The cover is like a linen style. God, what the hell is all over my desk? The cover's a linen style. First I thought it was black, but now looking at it in the light, I think it's like a blackish forest green ? And then the font on it is gold, with the gold of his name, and then the side says Bucket List Journal, and on the back it says Impossible is Possible. Now, before I flip into it, the general info is that it has a linen debossed gold foil cover, 100% lie flat binding, a QR code for special content, 100 GSM ivory pages, and 100% recycled FSC paper. So, wow. This says Impossible is Possible in like a diagonal pattern. Hey guys. Did you know that impossible is possible? Very much an ivory color. Now, this is not lie flat, but I know the front of these sorts of books are like the paper. These pages are like glued together, so I'm not going to count it as that. It says the Bucket List Journal, printed on black, Ben Nemtin. And then we get to, and the pages definitely are ivory colored. I can see the font kind of through this. It's like black with like the cutout style of font, and it's pretty easy to see through the page. It's got some information here, and then we get in here. There's one of the QR codes these dreams belong to, and the pages are numbered. This front nameplate page is page number 5. Here's a quote. It says, the top regret people have at the end of their life is not regretting something they did. It's regretting something they didn't do. And then here's a spot where it talks about the purpose of this journal. And then some more information about him. I guess a bucket list changed his life is what I'm gathering. More information from him. And then here is his list with everything checked off. That's not true. Not everything is checked off. Almost everything. It's 100 items. And the 2 that are left are host Saturday Night Live and go to space. I mean, this is interesting. Oh, wait. Yell in court. You want the truth. You can't handle the truth. He hasn't done that one yet either. He hasn't made the cover of Rolling Stone. This is okay. That's fascinating. I kind of want to read through this, not because I want to do any of these things for the most part, but because this is a pretty extra, like, main character syndrome sort of list, I think. Your list is important. Why we put off our list. I can see what he means about 100% lie flat binding, but it does require a little bit of training to actually, it doesn't just lie flat naturally, you do have to train it a little bit. So it says here, the problems we just addressed are the obstacles this journal will help you overcome. So the problems they're talking about, the reasons you put off the list, are waiting for inspiration, no deadlines, and fear. Bravery is the solution to regret. Ooh, it's just very bold. How this journal works. Step 1, begin writing your list. Step 2, write your full list. Step 3, share your list. Step 4, start a before and after page to stay on track. And step 5, scan the QR code for more support with your goals. Do's and don'ts of writing your list. Don'ts, prioritize love. Don't prioritize love. No, wait. So these don'ts are how to phrase things in your list. So a don't would be prioritize love. A do would be go on 1 new date a month. Be healthier, be vegetarian for 6 months. This seems like it kind of follows like the SMART goal framework, quantifiable, blah, blah, blah. Wait, I lied. Here it is. Quick tricks. Attach a timeline or a deadline. Define your goal so it's clear. Name specific things and places. Be affirmative. Focus on actions, not intentions. All right, so step 1, your 10 categories of life. So these are the categories that he suggests that you use to start making brainstorm lists of the things you'd like to do. Travel and adventure. He starts with this because this is typically what we think about when we think of a bucket list. Maybe what I'll do is I'll add something for each of these for myself. So thought starters, walk the Great Wall of China, see my favorite band live, blah, 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 blah. learn to scuba dive, travel, and adventure. Well, for me, and it's actually on my bucket list for this year, and I don't know if it's going to happen because it's not dog friendly, is go to the Stanley Hotel in Estes Park, which is not far from here, but it is not dog friendly. For reference, if you didn't know, the Stanley Hotel is the hotel that Stephen King was staying at when he was inspired to write The Shining. Number 2, physical health. This could include positive lifestyle habits, exercise goals, or kicking bad habits. Again, give up soda. That's off of my regular bucket list. Number 3 is material. It's okay to have material goals. What do you want to buy that would bring you true joy and happiness? It's important that the material things are not the shoulds that impress others, but the things that spark joy within you. These goals can be big or small. They can also be for someone else. Ideas being things like become a homeowner, surprise my kids with a new car, blah, 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 blah. I don't know if I have any material bucket list ideas. Do I? Maybe I should look at my bullet journal. Do any of those count as material? Because mine are built around the Moxie Life areas of life. Yeah, buy a large houseplant for the living room, which I already did. I don't know. I mean, maybe one of the things I've been wanting that I don't imagine us buying anytime soon is one of those hard shell things that like lives on the roof of your car, like on your roof rack, so that you have like an extra storage space. Because in my mind, that particular thing is a symbol of me being like a more outdoorsy person. I don't know. Moving forward. Creative. Creativity is an often overlooked pillar of wellness. Well, fun fact for you, sir, that's been a big focus of my goals this year. Don't forget to carve out time for your creative pursuits. Ideas here would be start a YouTube channel, take a painting class, write a book. I guess for me, creativity might be learning landscape design. I'm interested in it, but it seems so fucking overwhelming for me. Number 5 is professional. What goals do you have in your work life? So some thought starters. Ask for promotion. No work after 8 p.m. Become a more effective leader. For me, definitely for this would be a big bucket list item for me is to get into packaging illustration. It's something I've been really interested in for a long time, and I just have not prioritized it, but that's something I'm interested in. Number 6 is financial. What are your money-related goals? So they've got like make a donation, earn so much per year, build my portfolio to whatnot. I don't know. Fuck. I don't know what my financial goals are, you guys. 7, intellectual. What goals do you have for your brain? Read one book a month or each night before you go to bed. Learn a new skill or take a class. Learn a new language. There it is. I want to learn High Valyrian. It's on Duolingo, and I started looking at it, but then I just haven't had the chance to spend more time on it. But High Valyrian is one of the languages they speak, and they developed it into a full language for Game of Thrones and for House of the Dragon, and it's being used extensively in House of the Dragon. If I was going to pick a language off of Duolingo, sure, I could learn Spanish or something that would actually be useful for me, but I would really want to learn either High Valyrian or Klingon. Hashtag nerd. Number 8, mental health. How can you increase your emotional and spiritual well-being? Tell someone how I really feel, learn to meditate, practice mindfulness, etc., etc. A big one for me right now, there is a parent group that I learned about from someone at the dog park who actually lives in my neighborhood. For parents of kids who are neurodivergent. And so I really am interested in joining something like that. But ideally, a lot of my mental health stuff currently revolves around getting more involved in a church congregation. You. Number 9, relationships. This is all about the people you love. Prioritize finding romantic love. Date night twice a week. Deepen the relationships that bring me the most joy. Again, this is something I've been really working on. I know I have something in my bullet journal for this one, and that is to have monthly breakfast or lunch dates with each of my kids, which has been going really well. So yeah, just spending time with them one-on-one and actually just maintaining the lines of communication is important to me. And number 10, but I'll be real. Okay, we'll talk about this in a second. Put a pin in that. Giving. Spoiler alert, these will probably be your most memorable list items. They seem the least exciting, but they will be the ones that you remember at the end of your life. So some ideas: recycle every piece of plastic I use, take a mission trip with my kids, help underprivileged youth. Now, before I'm not even going to get into my thoughts on mission trips and there's a lot of thoughts there. Maybe that'll be for one of my live shows. But ultimately, I think for this giving, the one that's really high at the top of my list, it's not on my bullet journal bucket list, but it is something very high, and that is to compost, to reduce our waste, our waste, so that we can downgrade our trash can to a smaller size and just recycle things, reduce, and compost. That's my big, really reducing the amount of stuff from our home that goes to a landfill. Maybe that's going to be on next year's bucket list. All right. Now it's time. Step 2. Oh, wait. There was something I was going to say. What was I going to say? Oh, okay. The thing I was going to say was looking at his bucket list, so many of the items on it were so funky, like fucking aspirational, like play ball with President Obama, give a university commencement address, do a sketch with Will Ferrell, join a protest for something that, no, that's not really aspirational. Like, I've done that. Make wine, skydive over the Alps. These are all like really out there. My shit is so domestic, and I think it's because like it's not that I don't want to go and do things around the world or whatever. I'm just exhausted. This, as somebody with chronic illness, but not somebody who expects to like croak in the next, couple of years. So much of my bucket list is about my life being comfortable and full of people I love and stable, not going and doing a whole bunch of cray-cray things. I feel like doing a bucket list like this feels a lot more reasonable for somebody who's healthy, who maybe doesn't have kids yet, and especially who might have the financial means to make some of these things happen, as well as the energy resources, like your resources in terms of money and time, and also your resources in terms of your energy and your health. Now, I will say, I also know some people who get a terminal diagnosis who try and do a bunch of like really intense things on a bucket list. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm just talking about people in my kind of life who have kids and who are a little older and are like not feeling well all the time. Sometimes those bucket lists are just exhausting, and it doesn't make me think I'm going to be 80 and sad that I never skydived over the Alps, but I might be sad that I didn't spend as much time with my kids as I wanted to. So that's just the perspective I'm giving you. I'm not hating on people who have hardcore bucket lists. Just maybe making the note right here before we get any deeper into this planner that if you have things on your bucket list that feel a little less, they feel more mundane than this, there's nothing wrong with that. You do not have to drive a Fiat across Italy on your bucket list if that's not the kind of life that you want to live. Just saying. Moving forward, step 2. Now it's time to build your list. Take the items you wrote and write them onto your full list. When you've finished, take some time to add any more dreams or goals you have. Okay, so just a bunch of tips on that, and it gives you space here to write in 100 items for your bucket list. Next, if you think you're too small to make a difference, try sleeping with a mosquito. Top 5 regrets of the dying. 1, I wish I'd had the courage to live a life true to myself, not the life others expected of me. 2, I wish I hadn't worked so hard. 3, I wish I'd had the courage to express my feelings. 4, I wish I had stayed in touch with my friends. 5, I wish I had let myself be happier. P.S. If these spark any new list ideas, go back and add them to your list. Step 3, share your list. Write down your top goals, take a picture and share it on social media, and then tag your friends to keep you accountable. In the following pages, write down your top goals and your accountability buddies, who will keep you on track along the way. A good accountability buddy is someone who will help you feel comfortable sharing your goals with and who will encourage you to succeed. Life shrinks to expand. These quotes are really kind of stressing me out. Like they're actually, like that mosquito one was pretty funny, but like they're just like yelling at me right now. Before I die, I will, and then you have a space to write in your accountability buddies here with his doodles. Before I die, I will, accountability buddies. What the fuck are these pages for? Wait, what? Write down your top goals and then the buddies that are going to help you along the way. So this gives you 5 pages of 5, like space for 5 goals and who they're going to be accountable. Like, these doodles are just killing me, Smalls. I kind of wish there was space to add my own. Okay. Step 4, before and after. The following before and after pages are designed to help you accomplish your list items. Use each page, like one page. Write one list item you want to work towards at the top of each page and begin the process. These exercises will help you break it into smaller steps, identify your fears, and build systems of accountability. So it looks like you're probably going to get room here. I'm not counting because that's a lot of fucking counting, but it looks like you're going to get enough room for all 100 of your list items. So here's what this page looks like. At the top it says list item, and then There's some instructions. Write down the item you want to accomplish. If you feel stuck, there's a journaling section on page 170 to work through your thoughts. The journaling section on 170 is just some lined note pages to help you. There's about, it looks like 25 note pages to work through your thoughts if you need extra space. So the list item goes up here, and this is a very pale font. I'm wondering if you're just supposed to write over it because there's really not a lot of room here. So before you start working on it, it gives you a spot for, this is important to me because my reward for completing this will be, I will complete this by date. My accountability buddy is blank. 3 things I could do in the next 48 hours. What's stopping me? Additional small steps I can take to move forward. Then there's an after section. Date completed with a checkbox. How did it feel? Can I help someone do this? What did I learn? So this gives you a spot to kind of start breaking it down as well as to remind you of other things. One thing I would love to have in here is maybe a spot to add like pictures or thoughts on accomplishing each. So this can not only serve as like something to help you plan the ideas out, like because it's a bucket list journal, I wish that each list item had a separate page that's just like dot grid or lined or something where you could throw in pictures, thoughts when anything happens. You can kind of document it. So you've got before and then kind of an open space for during and then after. As a journal, that's something I would love. So you have space for 7, then you have another quote, and then it just keeps going. Once you've gotten through the whole pile of them, you have another quote, and then you go into that notes section we just talked about. Then in the back, this gigantic Charlie Brown quote and a little bit more like encouragement. And then another QR code, some references, and then some information about Ben. And then more impossible is possible. Okay, before we get into it, let's do a pen test on this paper. Like it says it's 100 GSM paper. It's very ivory. Like, I don't know how well you can see, but it is like if you think about like Leuchtturm and how ivory their pages are, it's like that or more. For my pens today, I have an RTX Pentel Energel 07 gel pen, a Pitt Artist Pen fine liner in the fine tip, a Tombow dual brush pen, a Zig clean color dot marker, and a Zebra mild liner. A quick note, I pressed down lightly and then harder with the Zig clean color dot marker. I did a double pass and a single pass of the highlighter, and I'm heavy-handed. First and foremost, I noticed that it took a few minutes for the ink to kind of sink into the paper. It's a fairly smooth paper, so I would worry if you're a left-handed person using any kind of marker in here that you may deal with some smearing before the ink really has a chance to settle. So just bear that in mind. And looking at this, there's very little ridging with the gel pen, no ridging with the fine liner. There's no ghosting, very small amount of shadowing with the double pass of the mild liner and with the heavier press down of the dot pen. However, there is bleed through with the Tombow. So I would just be careful using any sort of marker in here. If you're going to go with like a dot marker or something, just don't press down super hard. Overall, I think this is kind of interesting. It's really not my aesthetic, and it's kind of really not my like vibe. How I don't really feel the urge to like create this kind of a bucket list. But if you are somebody who really is feeling dissatisfied and wants to like really define how you want to like live your life or whatever, this could be an interesting exercise in kind of discerning some of those things. At the same note though, I kind of see it more as a workbook rather than a journal. I already mentioned I would prefer maybe to get rid of the notes section in the back and just give every single list item 2 pages so that you had some extra room for either more thought process or documenting. But that's as somebody who is from the planner community. We love our documentation in the planner community. So for $35, I don't know, man. This really isn't something I'm super interested in, but if you are interested in it, it does do what it says it does. So that could be real interesting for you. I'd love to hear your thoughts below. I definitely will not be using this, so stay tuned until Vlogmas when I do my planner giveaway. This will be given away then, so you can maybe set up your bucket list for 2023. Let me know any planners you'd like me to take a look at as we head into new planner season. I'm going to be making sure to reserve space in my schedule for looking at the planners you guys want me to look at and potentially give away in December. Be sure to do that. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already. And until next time, my dudes, peace.